Russian President Vladimir Putin is edging closer to securing lifetime immunity. The lower house of the Russian parliament passed its first reading of the new bill. What the lifetime immunity entails is that all former presidents will be granted immunity from persecution for any possible crimes committed during their lifetime. They and their families will also be exempted from searches, arrests and questioning. There will be 2 more readings by the lower house, after which the bill will be handed over to the upper house. Lastly, it will be made into law once Vladimir Putin himself signs it off. Critics say the legislation will soon come into effect, considering both houses of the Russian parliament are dominated by Putin's United Russia party. Currently, the only living Russian ex-president is Putin's ally Dmitry Medvedev. This legislation is among a number of other constitutional amendments approved this summer in a nationwide vote. One of the recently approved amendments allowed President Putin to run for 2 more terms after his 4th term ends in 2024. The opposition denounced the referendum, saying that Putin was aiming to be president for life. A vocal critic of the Russian government, Alexei Navalny, took to Twitter to question the lower house's decision and urged why Putin needs an immunity law. The incumbent Russian president is 68 at the moment and has no obvious successors. He has been in power since 2000. And our correspondent Stuart Smith from Moscow getting us this report. Take a look.
It's not specifically now. In fact, if anything, it's making sure that the groundwork is laid ahead of what could become a very long presidency. He could stay in power for a further 12 more years. And some analysts say he is in effect testing the water to see what he can get away with in terms of these new laws. Can he push through amendments to the Constitution which will allow him to stay in power longer, which will allow him these kind of judicial immunities? The Kremlin spokesperson, Kremlin spokesperson says this is a practice that takes place in many countries around the world and is quite justified. So the Kremlin certainly saying this is nothing to be alarmed about, nothing odd is going on. But as well as this latest constitutional amendment, another one is making parallel progress through the State Duma, the lower house here in Russia, which also allows ex-senators in the upper house to also receive immunity from prosecution. So Putin, in effect, having a double backstop here, both for ex-presidents and also for senators. There is no evidence for this. It is very unlikely that he does have Parkinson's, at least with the evidence we've so far seen. He's certainly not mentioned it, and no one official has either. It's a rumour, very little much more than that. If Putin does want to step down, he will be able to make use of such constitutional amendments as this. But as it stands, there are no clear contenders for the next president. There doesn't seem to be an option for Mr. Putin to leave office, which is clear to the rest of the world.